back, everybody, to another episode of Dancing Goats and Angry Cloud. My name is Hugh, and today, you can call me Goat. We're going to talk about altars, shrines, and sacred spaces. And to start off, we're going to talk first about travel altars and creating an altar within a home if you are still a minor and your parents do not follow the old ways. So, either of you guys have something to say?
Hold up. Were you about to call me a girl, buddy?
How dare you? I'm a woman. There's a difference.
All right, listen. I know I'm a bit husky. I know you got like the big titties, but you don't got to call me a girl, all right?
Oh. So as someone who does currently still live with her parents, sadly, and my mother is a Roman Catholic, all types of fun. I do, of course, I think the best place to kind of keep your altar would probably be in your own bedroom. If you have because hopefully your parents, respect your own personal space and they won't just kind of pop themselves into your bedroom whenever you're doing your things or if your door's closed. So my altar is literally right here past my desk. I'm less than 2 feet away from it. But mine is a little bit more just kind of out in the open. It's just there, takes up a corner and a half. And my mother does not question it much, but that's just because I have strange taste. Not to mention, I think you can see part of my ancestor altar behind me, right there, just sitting there. And I'm lucky that my mom doesn't question it. I can just play it off. I wouldn't fully recommend, though, if your parents are less accepting or just not as oblivious, not putting it so obviously in a corner in your bedroom. I would say hide it in a closet if you've got the space. Hey, stop that.
Or even one that you can quickly put together, have a separate drawer that you can keep the stuff in, and then set it up when you need it. And there you go.
Like a nightstand. Then maybe
a nightstand. Or
use your nightstand as your altar. I mean, that's perfectly acceptable. It's somewhere nice.
Me, I use it on my dresser.
And or a dresser, and then you just take it out when you feel like it's comfortable or safe to do so.
Exactly. If you need to wait until 1:30 in the morning just to do your rituals, not recommended if you need to sleep for a sporting event or a test or something.
All right,
or
real quick.
Around.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to try something real quick. Bear with me.
Oh no! In the middle of a stream, we're gonna try something new.
I haven't done this before, so.
Oh jeez! It's only our 3rd episode. What are you gonna do?
Yes, Isaiah. We know you're here. You're always here.
All right. So, I don't know if you guys can see what I am showing you.
Holy shit! That works. Right, so we know these things work.
It's it's Inception. No, oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
no, it's the screen. It's the Infinite Screen. Oh no, not again.
We should also title this stream the Infinity Screen.
All right, hold on. Let's try this again.
Just don't put it back to us.
So, Cheese, how's your relationship building with the land here?
So here we go.
It's very.
All right.
It's a little hard because you don't have at a tree nursery you don't have a lot of time to just go talk to trees in public, especially considering the biggest tree is literally right next to the road, and you're People might find it weird if I start talking to the tree during my lunch hour. The energy is wild though. It's a whole bunch of new trees that are just there and just you're pulled everywhere. You're oh, it's so nice. And also you can't focus Not to mention there's
All right,
hawks and
so I
crows
got
and
this
ravens
figured
everywhere.
out. So I shared onto the screen just a quick little thing. Definition of an altar. So according to this, an altar is, ignore the top line because that's about Christianity. An altar is a table or flat-topped block used for the focus of a religious ritual, especially for making sacrifices or offerings to a deity. That does not have to be anything fancy because it does not say anything fancy. As long as you have a flat space in which to place your offerings and to focus your ritual, you have yourself an altar.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like for me, because I live in a small apartment, what I use is the top of my dresser, and I have a few candles on top of it. I use a old tablecloth, and then I have on a piece of paper tiwas, and I have incense.
Mhm. My phone's fucking. Shut the fuck up.
All right.
You know,
Now-
geez, there is a mute function.
As you guys
It's so
can see
popular.
here, the definition of a shrine is a place regarded as holy because of its associations with a divinity or a sacred person or relic, and is usually marked by a building or a construction. So, the quote unquote altar that I have outdoors would actually be better described as a shrine, since it does actually have quite a bit of a construction to it, and it is no longer just this tiny little flat surface. It's actually quite big now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I have something similar sort of outside. Like I have a whole section in my backyard that I've just kind of cleared away of garbage and everything that's around it. And I've created, it's made out of just stone and twigs and bark that has fallen off some of the trees that is in my yards, and kind of built a sort of like a little house shrine. And when I have the ability to go outside and do offerings, I do them there. And I have like a homemade fire pit right next to it in case I want to do fire rituals.
So, I want to share with you guys an idea that works very good for people that are on the move. And let me pull it up. Here we go. An Altoid tin mini altar. All right.
I've heard
this
of
is something
these.
that's used by
Yeah, I've heard of these too.
a lot of Wiccans and pagans of all different types. And basically, inside this little Altoid tin, they'll store all the different little things that they need in order to create an altar on the go. Now, I've seen some examples of ones for different forms of paganism, not the not just like Wiccan ones, but like actual ones for like the Hellenistic gods. I've seen ones for the Norse gods as well. I've even seen a few for Celtic gods. Like here's one that contains runes. I can get this to open. Gotta hate Pinterest.
Well, that's because it's just like a legitimate
That's why
problem.
it's being mean to me because I don't have Pinterest.
I have Pinterest, I just don't use it.
So
I do not have a Pinterest.
as you can see, like this little travel kit, it's got candle, runes, matches, some salt, and looks like a few other little knickknacks in there. And so your little travel altar doesn't need to be anything fancy. It doesn't need to be huge. Doesn't need to really contain a whole lot. It's just basically whatever you feel you need in order to connect with your god or gods at the moment that you're giving that offering. But those Altoid tin traveling altars are a really good idea because, hey man, if you're out hiking in the woods, it's real simple to slip one of those Altoids tins in your pocket and keep moving.
That is something
Right.
I actually have to start doing, because right now, whenever I want to go do something outside and I need like some kind of altarpiece, I basically just carry everything in a bag, and there's nothing cohesive about it. And if I want to carry like liquids of any kind, I can't, because they just kind of slosh around. It's a big mess. I actually have to. I'm going to think about maybe doing that. One,
Well, you could also, kind of put the liquids in another bottle or
I mean,
thermos.
okay, they are in bottles, but like they take up a lot of space. Okay, I need where am I? You know, I I only have so much space in this little travel bag. Okay, it's one of those like burlap duffel ones. You know that
Oh, okay. I see what you're
I
saying.
you girl only got so much money.
I'll send you my sea bag that I had when I was in the Navy.
Exactly, something like that. Picture that, but like maybe this big. Sometimes that's all you want to take, especially on a
Like,
hot
no,
like
I'll
summer
send you my
night.
old sea bag. Like, then you could fit like a whole altar in there.
Exactly, like um, especially during things like the summer when it's really hot. You don't want to carry that much, so you only
Yeah.
want to carry the important things, and you never know what you might find that perhaps maybe you bring home to add to your home altar, or you work with. You
Yeah,
don't
you're
know,
right.
so you need the space.
Because I
Plus
know
bug spray.
I know when I talk to Hugh over there, whenever we're on VC, he always finds another feather or two.
He's lucky. I can never find any feathers.
It's like,
Um,
every
Okay.
5 minutes, he's like, "Ooh, look, another feather."
Yeah, I
yes,
find
the
feathers a lot, but
godfalls.
I also live in Florida. There's lots of birds and ducks here. So as I just put up onto the stream for everybody to see, it's just a little Google search for Godpole, because Isaiah was wonderful and asked us if we can talk about Godpoles. Oh, I'm sorry, Cheese. I didn't mean to cover you. I'll make that go away now.
No, no, I've been covered. No,
All right. So
it's okay.
as you can see from these search, some of these Godpoles are small, some are large, some are pretty simple, and others are very, very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So no two God poles are the same. Ignore the random tiki pole and the random
Tiki God
Native
pole.
American totem. But a God pole is essentially a
What is
post
with
or
you,
pillar
other
that has
man?
been carved with the likeness of a deity in order to create an icon for that deity's worshippers to pray in front of, to bring offerings to. Now, in some cases, the god poles would be close to each other. Sometimes they'd be spaced out and separated from each other. And then there were times when the god poles were not poles, but rather just a giant tree, like this one. I don't believe this tree is actually a god pole, but it's just a good, cool looking tree. And it's a good example of how sometimes in the old pagan peoples would equate the trees with like Thor. So instead of having a god pole for Thor, specifically, they would instead have a massive tree they would center their village's worship around.
Mm-hmm. I did try to look a little bit because I did see Isaiah's comment. I did also look up what an Asherah pole specifically is. That's a the way that title is a specific Canaanite thing,
Yeah,
but
it's
the
a
idea is
Canaan.
still exactly the same. For ceremonial poles, a lot of it in terms of this is from a Wikipedia article, so take it with only a semi bit of. Remember to check your sources. Most of them were found throughout most of Germanic Europe. And that, yes, if it could be found, if an actual pole was not constructed, they would use a sacred tree. Right here, wooden pillars, including Thor's oak here it is, which might be the most famous pole, Thor's Oak in, oh, I'm going to say this wrong, Erminsul, or Donner's Oak, a sacred tree somewhere in Hesse, Germany. But one thing
Well, that was an interesting ringtone.
I feel like it's designed correctly to be like, make sure the children don't hear nothing bad.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I did notice is that like in this like ceremonial pole, the Wikipedia article, they do bring up maypoles, which are more like those things that like you just. I remember when I was a kid, just they were like German jokes. It's like, oh, they dance around the pole and they don't do anything with it except dance
Yeah,
around
I
it.
remember
Why do
as
they
a
do that?
kid too. Like
It makes me,
too, especially around spring, like thing like after church, like they would like put
yeah,
one up, and all the kids would just take one of the ribbons and just kind of dance around with it.
yeah, and like okay, that's what they did. Hang on, come in.
That looks like Cheese has left the chat, and same with Goat. So Gordon, you didn't really miss much. We were just talking about trees, and no god pools. Yeah, I know, bro. It's just me now. Well, back to the altars, though. For me, like on my dresser, I have like a couple candles to represent different gods.
I'll be back.
Yep, take your time. I think it's potty time for her dog. But yeah, on my altar, a couple candles represent a few gods. No, Isaiah, we don't have to do that, bud. We don't have to do that. And then on a piece of canvas, I have painted the Tiwaz rune. I have some opal on there, some malachite, a hag's rock, which I got by the ocean, a bone dagger. Yes, Borden. God poles were used for worship outside, like they were usually spaced closer together or further apart. And a lot of people would actually kind of put them where, like, where certain gods are more felt revered in that area, or also just like where they were kind of grouped. Oh, thank God he was back.
Wait. Were you the only one talking for a moment?
Oh, I've been the only one talking since you left, and then like within a minute, Cheese had to go somewhere, and she was holding her doggo.
Yeah, sorry about that. My movers called me about the move tomorrow. So, yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
I returned.
Back.
Oh, thank God you both returned.
What was I going to say? Right. The maypoles. The maypoles.
Yes, I was
Gordon, because that is done all over the place, even in Christian communities within Europe. They still will put up like the maypole. During I can't remember, is it spring or midsummer?
Usually,
but they
like
put
when I was
the maypole and it's around the maypole.
They usually put the maypole up, or like right after Easter.
You know, it makes me wonder if like the maypole was like. Has anyone ever wondered if like the maypole was just like a discreet way for like pagans after the conversion for Christianity? If any pagans just decided, instead of making like a really obviously explicit god pole, let's just make something completely innocuous that they can't tell and still do our thing, It'll be right in the open. They won't notice it. And then the Christians were just like, that's a weird, fun game. Let's do it for our children. Yeah,
Yeah, but thing is,
Well,
though, like if you
here's
remember, a
what you're
lot of the
thinking.
Christian practices we have were also taken from the pagans.
Yep.
You're thinking about something like this: the Green Man. Now, the Green Man is a Celtic depiction, a Celtic deity. However, it persisted by being shown in Christian churches well after the Christianization of Europe, and it was used as a way to subtly keep certain pagan aspects of their past alive. Um, Celebration of the Green Man and honoring of the Green Man is basically honoring Cernunnos, the horned god, the god of the wild.
Oh.
So
Okay.
that's why, like, whenever you see the Green Man, he's like always made of leaves. He's got horns made of branches. Right? He's the god of the wild. He is Treebeard from Lord of the Rings, basically.
That makes sense.
The Green Man still persists to this day as something that is frequently seen on churches and just regular buildings all over the place.
Yeah, I did notice that because there's actually a couple of churches here in town that have the Green Man.
And then
But Jesus got her kitty. Mhm.
This is my son. He is
My daughter.
Aw. He wants attention
my
because
house
he's been away
sister.
from home. He's been away from home at the vet for 2 days, so. Yes?
Oh, and yes, Borden, I was kind of having a panic attack because I was kind of left here on my own.
Sorry about that. I had to check on my dinner. Oh, and he's on the desk.
It's okay.
We're gonna deal with this.
all right, so
What is a
I
huff?
want to ask if we can talk
Yeah,
about.
I had no idea what he was talking about with that.
I tried
either.
looking it up. And
A huff is
I got a need read.
It is where ceremonies were taking place during pre-Christian times. However, a vast majority of the events, the ceremonies and rituals that were held within the hoffs were held within the feasting halls of the Jarl that was hosting the ritual or offering or celebration or whatever. As far as like a temple, the closest thing that we have are the old stave churches. Now, the old stave churches are theorized to be built possibly on these with the same layout and same blueprints as the old pagan temples may have been constructed. So, let me pull up some pictures of what the stave churches look like. So here are the stave churches. And you can see these churches are a very unique design. Okay, these are extremely unique churches. They are found only in Scandinavia and the Scandinavian countries. They are not found elsewhere. Okay, they are a clearly identifiable, like, Norse structure. Here's a picture of the inside. This is the inside of the stave church. Okay, look at that. That's really nice. Now imagine if it didn't have these pews or whatever this thing is over here and over here. I would say that this looks more like a pagan temple than it looks like a Christian church.
Right, but I do see similarities between a Christian church and the stave churches there.
Well, the stave churches are Christian churches.
Oh, okay.
The theory is that the unique design of these stave churches,
Bless you, mother.
the fact that they're found only within like Scandinavian areas has led people to believe that the design of the stave church could possibly be descended from the way in which the old heathen temples were built. So if we want to build a temple somewhere to hold rituals, I think going with a stave church design and building something like this is what we should do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I can look up any pictures of the inside of this.
That we would be doing, like rituals and stuff. That's all going to be held in like the feast hall, but for just like a plain ritual or offering, we could do in a stave church in the hall, and then move to the feasting hall for the feast.
I'm trying to see if I can find any images, like specific ones on the inside, and they're very hard. I'm trying to. Can I pull this up? Because there's some interesting carvings all over some of these stave churches. I'm just trying to see if I can get some good pictures of everything happening.
You should be able to share your screen as well.
Oh, here's one that has a lot. This is one's a lot, and this one. Because some of these look semi-familiar, as something we'd recognize. If I could just, that's got some stock stuff from it, but useful. Okay, let's see if I can share this. Share my screen. Please do not show these tips. I don't care. We will share the whole screen. All right. Can you see it? Can I make this work? Is it working?
That's a negative.
No? Fuck.
Wait, no, do that again. I have to hit a button too.
Okay. You have to like allow me to share or something?
Yeah.
Hang on, oh no, the screen is freezing. Oh no. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Come on. Oh no. Fuck. Everything's still working, and yet it's not. I may have to log off and come back in.
Yeah, you might have to.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Let me.
Hey, Kiwi, glad you're here. We can try to, Isaiah. Let me look at my phone and try looking that up.
All right, so Isaiah wants to see the cheese. Why are you frozen?
Because she had to leave and come back. And now there's two cheeses. Oh, now it's one.
Okay, there, it's working. Let's see if I can get this thing to work now.
All right. So
Please work.
Isaiah asked about the Icelandic heathen temple. So Cheese, I'm going to share your screen, and then we're going to show what the Icelandic temple looks like. So there we go.
Okay, so can you see the picture I'm trying to pull up?
Oh yeah, the intricate wood carvings.
Yeah, some of them, I don't know. That's a stock photo that I ended up pulling up. Now, I'm not sure what is happening in this, except death.
Yes.
All I see is death. And what is this?
I
can't even tell what some of these are depicting. Ignore
Yeah,
the
same.
stock photo like thing from it.
Yeah, that one kind of looks a little lewd.
It's I think I'm not sure who this is, but they are getting enveloped in snakes. And
Yes, they are.
yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to look up and like why
I
they're.
feel like that's Loki.
Same.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
I feel
Yeah.
like it's probably Loki.
That's my cat. Excuse him.
Oh, Isaiah said Ragnar snake pit.
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
actually, that is.
Okay, Isaiah.
Can I get this
Maybe we
picture
can
up?
get you up here.
Like, here's some other ones from the stave churches.
Topic.
Look at this. See if I can find more from this article specifically, because this one actually does get some in there. Oh, was that the only picture?
It looks like it.
That's some bullshit. Sadly, I was not able to find it enough. Damn, I'll have to look this up more.
Same, because this is a topic I'm not really familiar with the stave churches and the Hoffs. Which I'll gladly admit that I don't know much about this
I've
particular
never
subject.
heard of a Hoff till now.
Yeah, same. Oh, and look.
Basically just the heathen version of temple.
Gotcha. And Goat had himself a little shirt change real quick.
What are you talking about, dude? Are you having a stroke?
No, that was boarded the other day.
No. I was bored the other day and today. But I think you're having a stroke too. I'm wearing the same shirt I was wearing earlier.
You know we're on video and you're going to be posting it, so we'll know.
We'll know.
We will know.
Goat can't pull this kind of magic nonsense. Not here.
God can pull all the magic nonsense. All right, so the heathen temple in Iceland. So just a quick search brings up a bunch of images for it. All right. So the most interesting one that catches my eye is this one right over here. That's not what it looks like.
That is an extremely interesting
I don't think that's what it
design.
looks like. If that is what it actually looks like, it's oh shit. That is actually it.
Yeah. That's wow. Reykjavik city's got a very, very large
One hell of a heathen temple.
Well, that's nice. I actually love to go visit there.
Get this.
Oh wait, pull up that one with the picture with the statue in front of it. Like top left, right underneath that one. Alderon. Isaiah says Alderon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
We'll
in
send
there.
you to
That photo right
Isaiah.
there. It's probably Thor on the statue.
No, it says it's Leif Eric. It's a Leif Erikson statue.
Oh,
Although
it is.
Yeah.
whoever wrote it could be wrong. It could easily be Thor, but we wouldn't know
geez.
unless we got there.
Hey, geez.
What?
It's Leif Erikson Day, Patrick.
Ying Durgan. Oh, what a good episode.
Oh, that was a great episode. I figured you would get the reference.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about Goat.
Believe it or not, I am like an adult with an adult job. I pay taxes. I'm an adult. Just because I don't act like one.
I swear. I'm an adult, I swear.
I swear I'm an adult. I'm going to be 26. I swear. I know I look like I'm 12, but still.
I'm 27, so it's all good.
Rick brought up something useful.
That tattoo on your arm.
What tattoo? You don't see a tattoo. Rick actually brought up something that's That's something we should probably talk about. Actually, doing offerings at an altar.
Yeah.
Good for you, Isaiah.
Why'd you bring
18
that
and
up?
15 days, 5 days.
That up on screen, like Rick's comment.
Okay, so Borden asks about sacred groves. All right. So real quick, a sacred grove was essentially just a clearing within the woods, within the trees, in which the Gaudis for the Norse or the Druids for the Celts would gather to perform certain rites and rituals. Now, these rites and rituals weren't always necessarily open to everybody. These sacred groves were literally sacred places that you weren't just gonna walk into a sacred grove and stumble upon it. They were something that the location of
You
was
needed to know.
guarded. I mean,
You
they
know.
were places that were considered extremely holy, where the gods lived on Earth. Like these places were supposed to be so connected to the power of the gods that you wouldn't want to do anything that could be considered a slight against the gods by fucking up or doing anything there that wasn't directly related to a rite or ritual. So,
Are there any actual, like, famous sacred groves that we know of? I mean, that's something I'm
I'll
sure
use my
it's much
Google search
harder.
real quick to find out.
I do believe that there are some sacred groves that survived. I need to be a little more specific with my searching stuff. So, he's pulling up a Wikipedia article about the sacred groves. There are sacred groves that are still in existence within Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, as far as Europe goes.
There is Donner's Oak in Germany, Sacred Tree at Uppsala in Sweden.
Well, of course, Uppsala.
Yes.
There's even some that still survive in Great Britain. The sacred groves of Anglesey. I said that so wrong.
Maybe. So yeah, another one that you'll hear about, and it's not called groves, is here in the United States. Native peoples do have certain areas that they consider sacred that they'll use for their rituals and for their religious ceremonies. I am nowhere near a qualified person to speak on that subject, though. So I'm just going to mention that they do have their own version of a sacred grove and leave it at that.
Yeah, I the only thing I know.
If Beyonce was here, I could probably answer it, but she's not here at the moment.
No, she is not. So we are shit out of luck on that one.
Yeah. I think the only thing I know about, like, it, and it's not even a sacred grove, it's more of a sacred mountain, is I know that what we call Mount Rushmore is considered, as far as I know, a Native American sacred mountain that they were not happy to have some of our president's faces carved on to it. Yes. Yes. Hold on.
And
At
she's
least the
disappeared
chicken
again.
part is. I'm letting it cool down. I think I'm worried about something. So
Right. So since we're approaching the 40-minute mark, and we usually only run about an hour on these streams, I'm gonna say let's shift the focus from what altars and sacred spaces are and were, and shift the focus to where sacred spaces are going, what they are becoming, and how we are seeing them today. So, for instance, where I have my shrine locally, that could, in fact, be considered a sacred grove. It's in a clearing, surrounded by trees. I set up my shrine there. I'm gonna mute cheese real quick.
And Borden was just saying that you should leave too, so so I could freak out again.
I might just stand up and walk away in the middle of a sentence. You never know. Anyways, here's what I'm saying.
Well, with your little Loki, it's kind of expected.
My shrine is in a clearing out in some trees, but it's not a very big pocket of trees. Like, it's pretty small. There's a canal off on one side and basically a swamp on the other. All right, so it's just this one narrow little strip about 50 feet wide of trees, and I found a clearing in it where I set this shrine up. That shrine has become a sacred place. The spirits of the land, the land spirit of that area, has inhabited that shrine. I can feel the presence of that spirit every time I go out there. In fact, he does show up in the form of a swarm of gnats whenever you give him an offering or you talk about him. So as we continue to move forward in time and more people are coming to this faith, more and more people are starting to remember the old gods and want to live and honor them, we're going to find that needing more permanent locations in which to honor the gods and to share our rituals, to give our offerings, is going to become something that's more important. Because as we gain a larger population of heathens, we're going to have to have areas that can accommodate them. And simply just offerings and rituals at people's houses, while it's okay for now, you're not going to be able to do that when you're a group of local pagans or a group of pagans that are getting together for this ritual or offering is reaching 50, 100, 150, 200 people. As the number of people that are going to be showing up it increases, we need to really reconsider where we do have our rituals, where we do our offerings. So any place that we do end up choosing will, by virtue of our choosing it, become a sacred space for us in the modern day. Now, what those sacred spaces will look like will depend on the individual groups that are coming together to create them.
I have a sacred igloo cooler, my Ultras mobile. I love that idea.
I like that idea too.
Well
I might
done,
have to get
Matthew.
myself
That's
one.
good.
Spoken
Nice
like a true
job.
Southern boy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Although I do
question
want
for
to.
Gordon. Does it also have sweet tea in it too, just in case?
We should touch on. Where is it?
God chariots?
No, not. I was gonna say. Rick asked, "How do you actually do offerings?" And I think that's pretty something we should sort of touch on, considering the topic. Although God chariots, that's an interesting thing. I'll have to.
All right, so
Yeah, because I had to look
how to
God
do
chariots
offerings.
too.
Did I miss something here?
Yeah, it was like at 6:44,
Isaiah
like
keeps
10 minutes ago.
commenting on things, so it keeps getting buried.
He left a comment about how do you do offerings. There it is.
There we go. All right. So, Rick, if you're still here, I hope you are. We're going to answer your question. How do you do offerings? One, I am sorry for the delayed response to your question. But for me, simply an offering is giving anything to the gods. That thing could be something as simple as giving your time and spending it by reading about that god. Or it could be a candle that you lit in their name, or you could do something elaborate and cook an entire 7-course meal for the god. Okay, so an offering can be as complex or as simplistic as you wish it to be. technically, every ritual is an offering, every offering is a ritual. I make the distinction between the two as being how formal or structured you want it to be. For me, offerings are usually very personal, very quick, and don't usually have any set structure to them. It's just me giving my thanks to the god and honoring them and then giving them the offering. Whereas a ritual could be anywhere from 5 minutes to an hour long. It just
Right.
depends.
Like,
Although I do have to say, I don't like it when people make me have to sit through an hour for an entire ritual. So I don't like doing that to people either.
Yeah,
yes,
group
like,
rituals usually you have to actually kind of think about the time because
Well, yeah, with the rituals, you kind of want to make sure that you're not going too long. That way, that you can still keep people in focus, and that way, that no one really just.
and he's vanished. Loki has taken him, and
yep,
now
Loki
we
has
must
taken
stop for
him.
time. I will give it this. I prefer mine when I do offerings to be a little bit more structured, but that's simply because I have ADHD and it's real hard to focus. They end up being, when I am focusing, sometimes my rituals or my offerings can last for like an hour and a half and I won't have even noticed. That's probably the thing you'll notice the most after a little while is that you're doing it and you're getting into it, and the next thing you know, you started at 10 o'clock and now it's 12:30 and shit, you have places to be.
And you have work in like 45 minutes.
You have work in 45 minutes and you have to go. But you'll be very happy you spent that accidental 2.5 hours with your ritual. Because
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like the longer your ritual or offering, the like better experience you'll have. But you usually do have a chance to like
Really commune with the god or deity you're trying to communicate with. Like for
and
me,
also
like
you'll get to experience a lot of different stuff when you're allowing yourself to kind of take that extra time. Although the gods do get it, obviously, if like we can only offer like a 5 to 10 minute ritual or meditation or something for them because we have lives, modern lives, and modern lives demand that we get up at 9, have breakfast, and go to work for 8 hours straight.
if you have a normal job, yes.
And also we have like loved ones and friends and we're living in a pandemic and sometimes you just have to sit around and vegetate for 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't have that luxury with my job.
Yeah.
But
so they get it.
Yeah. Like for me when I do offerings, like sometimes it's just me lighting a candle and offering some wine or some beer to to the gods and just talking to them.
Yeah.
Just some other times it's
and they
like,
don't have to be expensive either.
Exactly. Like I literally go to the one gas station down the street from me that sells beer. I get a can of beer for like $2. Come back home, do my ritual. I have like a big old candle that I can just light, and there I go.
Yeah, they don't really have to be always expensive. Intention obviously matters more than anything else, especially when you live our lives.
Exactly. Like, and some people, like something that I learned from my long-term Wiccan fiance, like even when she makes coffee in the morning, she considers that. Since we're talking about something that I can talk about, and actually no. About like with my Wiccan girlfriend, when she does a ritual, sometimes just as simple as her making coffee and just using the intentions as she stirs to bring positivity to her life. But Kiwi, to answer your question about making an outdoor shrine in a densely neighborhood, well, I'm a country bumpkin, so I really can't answer that. But it can just be as simple as you going out there and like planting some flowers around the tree and Yeah, and just using it. Oh yeah, and whenever you water the garden there,
Put a
it's
fairy
awesome.
house. Build a fairy house on the tree.
Yeah, build a fairy house.
I love fairy houses.
Yeah. Go. No, you can't. No, you can't be on the live stream. You cannot be on the live stream. Go. No, you cannot have my soda. Go.
I wish you
No.
I'm hungry. I'll wait.
You good there, goat? You having a little stroke there? Oh, okay. He's got his little Lokian over there. But yeah, Kiwi, a fairy house would work good for you.
Fairy house.
Sorry about that. Stuff is like
It's all right,
happening at home. Cheese has to keep leaving.
It's okay. So does Goat because he's dealing with the Lokians.
Yeah, I'm dealing with my own Loki issues right now. But so yeah. What were we saying? Offerings?
We were just talking about for Kiwi. She asked a question about how she can build like a unnoticeable altar shrine for a tree in her front yard because she lives in a densely populated neighborhood. So me and Goat said a fairy house, and that's when one of his Lokians kind of appeared.
They're like fairies?
Yeah, pretty much is exactly what happened. And now, and Kiwi and Isaiah are like, oh, look at them.
Oh, I missed the Lokians. Damn it.
Yeah, there's only one of them I saw.
A fairy house would probably be the most conspicuous way. Like if it was in a backyard, you'd probably have a little bit more wiggle room.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna be like in a suburb with like the tree in the front, fairy house is probably your best bet because people will probably just think you're doing a really cool art project.
Exactly.
And it's like,
and I know tonight in this live stream we're also doing something too, right, Goat?
Wait. Oh yes. You reminded me. Thank you for reminding me.
You're welcome. I kind of figured we were approaching the 1 hour mark.
I need to look something up real quick.
Wheelpicker.com.
Yeah, well, we'll stall again. So, for example, okay. I have seen far stranger things than a fairy house being carved into a tree or part of a tree as people's like front door decorations. I used to live near someone who decided to just take their Halloween fake knight like armor stand and just left it on their house 24/7 from now on. So they just have a fake suit of armor standing there. And I also know this guy. He literally makes wood sculptures outside his house, and it's fantastic. Like he's got a robot made out of wood that doesn't actually work, but it just holds lanterns. And his whole house is just covered, his front lawn. So like honestly, a fairy house, if you want to be conspicuous and you don't want no one asking any weird questions about your personal business, fairy house. Some stone Karens, something that just looks like it's part of an art project. That'll let you get to be creative with how you worship the gods.
Kiwi did just ask, would a fairy house invite the Fae, though?
Yes.
Yes, but
yes, they would.
Are Fae.
Not always a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not always a bad thing. It's just if you antagonize them.
Just don't antagonize them. Don't antagonize them. You'll be good.
Boys too.
All right, guys.
If you have pets, make sure your dog does not wee near the fairy house.
Yeah, they would not like that.
They would very much not like that. I think, and make sure that if you're mowing the lawn, to just be careful around the tree. That's what I would recommend. I mean, I have seen some things.
So, we are going to wrap up our conversation about altars, sacred spaces, and shrines. And I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to all of my 2 patrons, Scald over there, and
Hi.
Gordon over down that way. No, wait. Yeah, down that
He's
way.
down south.
Oh,
So, okay. Thank you guys. Y'all are awesome.
No problem.
What? Right
Yeah.
now, we are going to pick the winner of the Raven's Eyes first giveaway, where we are giving away a copy of Jackson Crawford's The Wanderers Havamal.
I just happen to have a copy right here, just so you guys can see what we're giving away.
oh, lucky.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull this up now so everybody can see. We've had a grand total of
Shit, what the fuck's happening?
3 qualified entries. So this is going to be a
Sounds like
real
her
quick,
fire alarm's going off.
real quick choice. So spin, spin, spin. Let's see who we get. And the winner is Heather Kitchen Witch.
Heather, congratulations.
Congratulations. You have won the Wanderers Havamal. And, you know, since I'm actually going to be seeing you soon, I won't have to send it to you. I'm going to do something better. I'm going to give you my version that I have highlighted important passages to me. Because I'm going to see you in person. So, make it a little
Oh,
more
you're
special.
so sweet.
Congratulations, Heather.
Congrats, Heather.
You are going to enjoy the Wanderers Havamal. All right. So, real quick.
Gordon, we were never monetized, so it's okay. That's why we've been cursing.
While we are all still here, I want to take a moment to once again thank everybody for taking the time to watch our videos, to watch these live streams. Don't forget that down in the description, there will be a link to our Discord server where you can chat with all of us. If you have questions about paganism or heathenry or really anything, we are here to answer your questions. Go ahead and pop on in, say hi, introduce yourself. Have a good time. You are always welcome. Now, in addition to that, you'll also find a link to our Patreon. I hope you guys will consider signing up to support us on Patreon. The lowest tier, the only tier, is just $4. And that gives you access to a special members-only Patreon section of the Discord where you can chat with myself and the other members of the Dancing Goats and Angry Cloud. You'll also be able to get Patreon exclusive live streams once I actually have more than 2 patrons who will actually want to see live streams. So if I get a 3rd person to support us on Patreon, we will start doing the Patreon live streams that very same week. But your support through Patreon is what will allow us to continue doing.
Sorry about that.
I would love to be able to give away a free book or something every month. So, all of your support is just great. I love it. I thank you all. Even if you can't support us all with Patreon, just watching these videos and interacting with us on Discord is wonderful. So once again, thank you all. And with that, I'll leave you with one final word. There is no one true way, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night,
Good
y'all.
night.